Hi class, it's week 2, the beginning of week 2. Um, we had a lot of work on week 1, a lot of new stuff that we went over. I hope that you've gotten adjusted to it and you feel comfortable with it. If you are still having any issues, please contact me. You can contact me via telephone or join one of my tutoring sessions as well that I posted in the announcements for week 1. I have the schedule of all the tutoring sessions I do. So, it'll be really good to see you there if you need some help. Again, I want to remind everybody that Wednesdays are the day that you do your initial post for your discussion question. And by Sunday midnight, you should be responding to 2 of your classmates. When you respond to those, I want to let everybody know you're to respond with some, how do I want to say that? You're to respond with some input to what the other student said. So, for instance, if I write a post that says, I think that HIPAA compliance is an important thing, we should be very careful about what we say in front of other patients or to coworkers where other people can hear, and you go to respond. If you respond and say, oh, good post, I like it, I'm not giving you full points for that. Because the response should be something like, I agree with you. I think that HIPAA compliance is very important in the workplace because patients have the right to not have their information out there for other people to hear. That would be more of a post that is contributing to the conversation instead of great post, I like what you said. So I wanted to clear that up. Week 2, I also want you to pay attention to your labs. Week 2, lab 1, there are 3 forms that you should be submitting. If you read your instructions, it has your worksheet and then it has an incident report on there, and it also has a records release form that needs to be filled out. Now, sometimes I have heard students say in the past that one of those forms, and I forget which one it is, doesn't always download properly, or when it does download, they have a problem typing into the actual form itself. So if you want to do the form, say, in your KINS workbook, you can do that and take a picture and upload the picture. I'll accept that. But just be sure that you have all 3 in, because the rubrics for that is a little different. So you have 3 worksheets, but it's worth 100 points. So if you're missing 2 of the worksheets, then you're only kind of getting like 25 points. So, I wanted to make you aware of that, this week. We're talking about compliance this week. In your book, it talks about consent forms. Consent forms are very important in the medical field because especially if we work for a doctor, say we work for a gynecologist and we're going to be doing a cone biopsy, or they're going to be taking out part of the cervix. We as MAs cannot actually explain the consent form to our patients. We need to be able to, we can witness it. But we do need to know what has to be on there. So that if we're looking at it and the doctor says, here, take this to the patient for them to start reading. I'll be in a few minutes, to go over it with them. And if you see something's missing, you can always, bring that to your doctor's attention. So you need to have the patient's name, the date of the procedure, the type of the procedure on there, the risks and benefits of the procedure, any alternative procedures that are available, the risks and benefits of those alternative procedures. And you need to have the risks of not doing anything at all, if they choose not to do the procedure. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. We're also talking about law, and I believe in our discussion question, it talks about a patient that has threatened to sue us, and they're upset. Some things that I wanted to point out to you as MAs, when you go out into the real world, things like this might happen. There's some things that you don't ever want to do. You don't ever want to give advice to your patients. And when they look at you and go, well, what if it was your family member, what would you do? You would say something like, an informed decision is good. Get all the information you can. You want to say something like that. Because if you say, well, I would take my family member to Johns Hopkins or Mayo Clinic, and they go and they do that and they have a bad outcome, they can come after you and they can sue you, for giving them wrong advice. So don't ever give advice. Don't ever, say, this is what I would do if they try to put you in that situation. We always want to keep ourselves at a neutral type level. So this week, again, we have some, NHA stuff, your CCMA modules to do. I hope that you have all signed in on that and you're getting in there just fine. And that you've tried to get into your Sims chart as well. If you're having any problems, please be sure to contact me. I'll be happy to help. My number is under instructor contact information in your student resources, so that you have that. You can always go there. If you leave me a message, I will call you back. Sometimes I consult with doctors all over the United States, about compliance with Medicare, that do the oral sleep appliance for sleep apnea. So I have a lot of doctors that call me, and I may be on the phone with one of those doctors. So I will call you back, or you can always text me. Text me and let me know what's going on, what you need help with. And even if I'm on the phone, I can shoot you a text back and say, hey, I'm on the phone. Can I call you in 10 minutes? Something like that. So I just want to be sure that you know that I'm here if you need me. You can always pop in on my tutoring sessions that are posted. I will post the recordings once a week from those tutoring sessions because I do 4 a week. So we'll do that. And anything else you may need, just pop me a text, give me a call, and I'll be happy to help. And I hope you have a great week too.